Hello, hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Gary's World once again. You're most welcome. This is where we discuss how to live life to the full, and I hope you're trying your level best to live life to the full. Now, today I want to talk about something that will resonate with some of you out there, and it's a subject that is very, very close to my heart, and it's to do with traveling. Traveling is the thing, guys. Now, I've been traveling a long time, a lot of the times. Now, and up to this day, even under lockdown, I am still traveling, and I'm going to tell you how. You just have to bear with me, because I need to take you way back in time in my life. Now, I have a brother. He's in Australia. He's a brother from another mother. Actually, our mothers are sisters. So they lived on a farm, and I lived in town. So every school holiday, I would go to the farm. And every time I go to the farm, I find this guy ready with stories. Stories that he's been reading. We were very young at grade school. Can you imagine? This guy was already reading. That's how intelligent he was, and how intelligent he still is to this day. He was just a year older than me. So he would be ready to regale me with stories after story, and his stories, I still remember them to this day, and for a reason. He is the guy that introduced me to Robin Hood, and he's the guy that took me to Nottingham Forest way back then, and he's the same guy that introduced me to Shakespeare, and he's the guy that took me through the Midsummer Night's Dream, and this is the guy who took me through Romeo and Juliet. This guy made me cry through that story, and I still remember to this day a standoff between the Capulets and the Montagues on the other side. Someone says from this side, "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" And the answer from the other side is, "No, but I do bite my thumb." Friends, I still remember that as if I had read it myself, but I have never read Shakespeare because I can't read a play. I don't know how people manage to read plays. I can't read a play. Now, ladies and gentlemen and friends, the fact that I still remember these stories that my brother told me many years ago, I'm sure he's surprised. I've never told him this. The fact that I still remember, it is because of the power of good storytelling. And nothing wields that power like a book. The power of a written word will take you places you've never been to. It will make you feel things you never thought you would. It will make you smell. It will take you through a roller coaster of emotions. The power of the written word, especially in the right person as the author. In the bug, reading bug finally bit me at last. We read books, lots of books. We read James Hadley Chase. It was a favorite at school. James Hadley Chase was a favorite. Everybody was crazy about James Hadley Chase, and it was hard to come by. To find a copy, it would have been borrowed by somebody. And once it lands in your hands, there's a queue for it already, long queue. So you only had that day to read that book and give it. And every copy of James Hadley Chase was never a disappointment. Because sometimes you can go to the library and pick a book by its cover and you go home and it's such a huge disappointment. But James Hadley Chase always brought it on. There was guys like Nick Carter, there was guys like Harold Robbins, there's guys like Sidney Sheldon. These guys never disappointed. There was our very own African legends, Ngugi wa Thiong'o and Chinua Achebe. They brought it on. I want to do a quick book review for you. Today, I want to tell you about my all-time favorite writer, and his name is none other than Wilbur Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love Africa, if you love its animals, if you love its lions, if you love its people, if you love the continent and everything about the continent, Wilbur Smith is the man to go to. You will not be disappointed. Because he's written a lot of books. He's written about 30-40 books, and I've read over 20 of his books. Do a quick book review for you about the Egyptian series. The Egyptian series, the very first book is called The River God. And The River God, here he introduces us to a man, the slave, is called Taita. Taita is no ordinary slave, because this guy is exceptional. He is intelligent. He's an all-rounder. What do I mean by that? This guy is a witch doctor. He is a psychic. No, he's a warlock. He's a seer. He's an engineer. You name it, he is. He's a warrior. He's an advisor to the king. He is everything. He's handsome. So such a guy is invaluable to the king. He doesn't want this guy's attention divided between his family and himself. And no. He doesn't want his wife looking at this guy in a particular way and then end up killing this guy. What does he do? He castrates a guy like this. It's called, he makes him a eunuch. Wilbur Smith takes us to ancient Egypt 4,000 years ago. And we see this guy invent the wheel. We see this guy invent the bow and arrow. We see this guy engineer Egyptian society to what it is today. We see this guy build pyramids. We see this guy burying his pharaohs. How he would take the pharaoh's body and disembowel it, and take out the heart, take out all the insides and put them in a bottle, and then put the pharaoh's body through process and after process for 30 days until it is ready for burial. And so, my friends, because of this journey, I undertook to go to Egypt. Not just Egypt, but ancient Egypt 4,000 years ago. I have an obsession. I now lap up anything and everything that has to do with ancient Egypt. I am fascinated by it, despite the fact that some of the things in Egypt are ghostly, sinister, and eerie. But that's part of the fun. It is my sincere wish that you, during this lockdown, will also find a good book that will take you to a place that you've never been before and a place that you will never forget. So, my friends, brothers and sisters, till we meet again, may the Lord shine His face upon you. May the Lord keep you. Adios.